सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। ॐ अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तयेन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री महादेवाय नमः। तस्मै श्री सदाशिवाय नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। अहम ब्रह्मास्मि। So good evening everyone, and is my voice clear?
Yes, Maharaj, it's clear.
Good. Chalo. So we already have few raised hands. So Haribai, if you can please
Yeah,
help.
Deepika ji, please unmute yourself.
Wow.
Pranam Mahadev.
Pranam Deepika ji.
Mahadev, I have one question which was like since long time, and one is regarding the session that we had. Like not just one, there are so many, but I don't even know if I can ask all that because the session has not been completed yet. Like the entire concept has not been covered yet. So I'll ask the other one that I have like since long time. I was listening to a podcast for about Krishna Avataram and Dasha Avatarams and all that. And like everybody know, that's like the common story that Jaya Vijaya have been cursed to be away from Vishnu, and they have chosen 3 births as the rivals of Vishnu instead of being his bhakts for 7 long lives. So I was only wondering, like in all the avatars, one is like very predominantly like powerful and against to Vishnu, but the other one is they never, or at least in the stories, we don't hear that they are too much against Vishnu, or like not even a mention of it about them, right? I was only curious, like, why is that so, and why did he slay the other one also? Like, of course, I know that is the thing they have asked for, and Vishnu has come, but why only predominantly one is so famous?
So it goes in a very simple way again, Deepika ji. So the things that have become famous is because of they were available for all of us to read it. And especially when you see like any historical data or anything that has been written and it has been talked about and discussed in a lot more way, that has the greatest impact on us. So when you look at it, in all the avatars, some or other way, they have been against him only. But the thing is, if you look at that in one particular way, especially if you say, like in one, we see it was very predominant and very against him.
Yeah.
So in such case, which are you referring to? Because for me, all look
Like
the same.
that. Because the other one is like Kumbhakarna, right? Ravana and Kumbhakarna. Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, like that, right, Mahadev? So,
like one brother was predominantly looking like a more evil than
yes.
the other, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So
I was just wondering what is the story behind that? Like,
so
is it like one of them is cursed more? What is it? What actually?
Okay. So going to trace back the same stories again. So they did not stop together, but they were both at the same gates. So one violently stopped everyone and did not even allow them to go. So that could be one of the reasons where there is also mention of that as well. So Jaya was the one who actually did the most things, and even to the extent he could not recognize them and started saying in a very typical bad way, you can say. Because these Kumaras were never stopped. They were allowed to go anywhere, anytime. So that is one of the very minute thing that we can think of. But again, coming back to the bigger part of it, it's all drama. How do you even know who was Jaya and who was Vijaya? Except the stories that you have heard. So coming back to, if there are two villains in a movie, one seems to be more aggressive than the other. It is because of the one who is more aggressive. The predominance of the night and day is because of the night and day together. So when there is somebody, let's say, two things are kept side by side, and one has a different color or might be too eye-catchy. So what happens? Here it looks into that. The second thing that you will come to know is, especially the kind of sadhana they did. Kumbhakarna, in the specific case, what you know is, he has chosen a sadhana where he goes to sleep. 6 months gone. So he's already doing half of the work that Ravana used to do. So if he was completely awake and he was doing, who knows, he might be more dreadful than him. But rather, if you go back and trace the story, you will also come to know that when Kumbhakarna heard that Ravana has done this, even he said, why have you done this? I will go because I'm your brother, but you should not have this. That was his story. Because जो साधना किए हैं ना वो लोग, again they comes from the Brahma Rakshasas groups, because they were combination of a Brahmana and a Rakshasa. So both the qualities were there in them. Ravana, you see, like what kind of quality he must be having? Like he goes and meets Shiva every day, and Shiva has to come to him, and then also look at him what it is. So that is what we call as, although he was the most knowledgeable, yet ignorant. सिर्फ ज्ञान काफी नहीं है जब तक आपके अंदर अहंकार आ जाता है, और उससे भयंकर है अगर ज्ञान का अहंकार आ गया तो. So most probably when we look at all these things, Deepika ji, what I can simply understand is, it's just design. It's just a design. Compared to one, the other looks more aggressive. And who looked more aggressive, people started talking about them. And again, might be when you are talking about Dasa Avataras, when I speak about the Dasa Mahavidyas, how they incarnated as Dasa Avataras, then it would be again another level of story. Because just last week as we started, something that is unknowable, unseen, unseeable, and unimaginable as well. So we started talking on that. Similarly, I talk about like how the Dasa Mahavidyas actually incarnated in the form of Vishnu. Now, in that case, what you will see is, then where is Vishnu now? Because that is all Devi. Now we are talking about all the male dominant creation that has happened. Then I will start talking about the female dominated creation, because how many creations even you know is another question. But the question that has been popping up in my phones since that Sunday is, some people, it would be quite difficult to even digest what was spoken. But I'm giving all the relevant things that is possible for you to understand. I'm giving all the, जो तथ्य कहते हो ना, मैं तथ्य के साथ बात कर रहा हूँ. So I keep on giving you the scientific ways. I keep on giving you the experiences that you had. I am not talking about somebody else's experience. So that is one thing. Then the most predominant question that is popping up into my screen is, then who are you? How do you know that? So even Siddharth has sent me a question, 2 questions. How do you know all of this? Who are you? So isn't knowing is something when you connect to the source, when you have the access to the entirety of it, you can absolutely give the answers. For Siddharth also, although he will not ask, he's sitting in the hiding mode. So I'll just answer for him. Is it okay, Deepika?
Yes, Mahadev, of course.
I don't want to miss out that flow. So Siddharth, for you, let me ask you, if you have access to internet, and I ask you a question from your class, will you be able to find an answer for that or not? Of course, you will be. It will be pretty easy. Not only for you, even if you can find the answers for your sister as well, who is much studying in a higher grade. How do you do that? Because you have a connectivity which has all the answers, right? So similarly, if you can get the access to that kind of space, which people keep on calling at Akashic records, people call it as the cosmic knowledge, or the Shuddha Gyan, or the Para Paratma and Para Apara and Paratpara. So when you get all this knowledge together, then nothing hides from you. So you get all the answers even without thinking. It's just like this. If I ask any shloka of the Vedas, or rather I ask about the Bhagavad Gita, if I ask any shloka, will you be able to say that or not? You have to. You will be able to, right? Why? Because you have studied it, you have read it well, you have memorized it, and even you have understood that part as well. So that is how you are able to access it. So what makes you that? Means the knower of the Bhagavad Gita, right? So you have already known that. So there is one aspect to that. You are knower of that. Means I know certain things about that. Or else the second aspect is you are the creator of that. So there are only two options. Either you have just known it or you have created it. So there is no third way. Either you have read the Bhagavad Gita and you are able to recite that, or you are the Krishna who has told it. So which one you choose to be? Most probably. Yeah, you can unmute. Just a second, let me help with that. So Deepika ji, I'm coming back to you.
Okay, Mate.
Yeah, Siddharth. So which one? So the one who knows or read Gita, or the one who wrote it?
The one who wrote it.
The one who?
Wrote it.
You see, he has chosen the right one. He says the one who has wrote it. What makes you that then? Who are you?
The person who wrote it all.
Right, the one who has created everything. So that's where we all come from. The only thing is the acceptance of it. The moment we start accepting it, we start finding out new ways to connect with that divinity. Because if we are all made out of the same speck of dust of God, we all are the same as well. I cannot say like apple tree is there and one fruit is apple, the other fruit is like pineapple. It won't be, because in that tree, whatever comes is apple only. So similarly, we have come out of that divinity. And that's why if you go and see any of the creative idols of God, they all look like us, and rather we look like them. So the reason is pretty simple. Either you have read that, or you have access to it, or you have created that. So coming to the conclusion of that, who am I? Wait and watch. Because that unfolding has to come. It should not be told, right? It should be an experiential learning. Because if I say, some people might agree to that, some people won't. But if it becomes an experience to you, then I believe you cannot deny that part. And may you realize that as well. Not only who I am, may you realize who you are as well. And you have chosen it right. You are the divine himself. Might be sitting here by the side of your mom, acting, not knowing. And what if you already know everything? Just the only thing is you don't see anything that is behind you right now. Similarly, your knowledge, who you truly are, might just be behind you. All that you need to do is turn around and you find it. Or rather, looking behind, it turn within and you find it. Okay? So for now, you keep on listening. I will complete the thing that I have started last week, because there are a lot of things coming behind that. Okay, so that might bring a lot of clarity as well. So just wait for some time. And if you don't get your answer, please ask me again. Okay. Thank you so much for your question and for your choosing as well. Thank you. Yeah, Deepika ji. So coming back to you. Sorry, I had to jump there because
No,
he gave,
Mahadev, that's the question of all of us.
he gave the
So,
question immediately after the session itself. And I
okay.
just answered him that I will answer you in the Q&A session. So I just have to keep you aside right now for a moment and talk to him. So that's okay with you. Yes. So coming back to your question, it's again like comparison. Compared to what? Let's say I am fair or I am dark. Compared to what? Depends on the person who is standing by my side, right? If I go and stand somebody who's coming from Zimbabwe, I probably look most fair person. But if I go and stand by a Hispanic, I'll be the darkest fellow in that place. So it is all comparison. So now coming to the stories of these two brothers that have taken again and again. You are asking that I ask from where did that dirt came out from Vishnu's ear? I am there. विष्णु के कान से भी निकला मैल और उससे दो मिले मधु कैटव बने फिर उनके पास से झगड़ा हुए फिर उनको मारने के लिए प्रॉब्लम हो गया सो कैन यू सी हाउ वास्ट दिस नॉलेज कैन बी
Yes.
but still in a limited idea that I have, I can only say this, that might be it is only because of the comparison that is available. And do you know there is a very typical book, I'll not share the name because it raises a lot of controversies. There Ravana is shown as the hero. And the questions that are given there, if you really read it, you will truly believe that he was. It does not take a lot of time to change. It just simply asks a few questions and it will like tumble down your thoughts. So तर्क देके उन्होंने ऐसे समझाया है कि राम गलत था.
Oh.
So we don't want to go there anyways, because for us, it's not about who is right and who is wrong. All that matters is what I am doing, what's my finding. I don't know whether they were there or what they did. I know I am here. What am I doing is my concern. Because getting this life was not easy, and I would not let it go easily as well. So making sure like all that I have learned, all that I am, I should be reaching out to the best that is possible. But yes, through queries, through questions, that is needed. So I believe that could have been the reason, but I don't trace out any specific reason for that. But if I get any, it keeps on coming, right? So if it shows up again, surely I'll get back to you.
Okay, Madhav. Okay. So I had one more, not one more, that entire session is like too huge for me to comprehend with this tiny mind. So also you mentioned that it is something that you cannot know it through mind, but we are trying to figure it out through our mind. So that's why there are questions.
Okay.
I was wondering, like when Akshar Purush, sorry, not Akshar Purush, Jyoti, Jyoti Niranjan, when he actually asked for this another world that he wanted to create, you mentioned that it's not the same realm where Satyapurush has created. This is separate from that.
Yes.
But so the Manasarovar is in that loka, right? Like, or that realm, right? So is this like a 5D, 6D kind of thing that we are looking at?
See, then you have to come to know exactly where you are standing. See, Manasarovar is something that is available in every loka because that's the base creation of what it has been mentioned. But the one thing that you have to understand is where are we? I am not started talking about that because it's a huge topic right now. Because we are only in one part of it, a very, very external part of this loka. Then again, that has been divided into 7. then on that the Meru is there. The Meru is in the opposite direction. On the top of the Meru, there are 9 gods. And those 9 gods are not the 9 grahas. Those are 9 gods that I'm talking about. And all these petals that you see, it is just like a lotus flower. If you look at the creation that we are in, it looks like a. And all these realms, जैसे कहते हैं ना भारतवर्ष, Jambu Dweep, भारतवर्ष. Jambu Dweep is from that 7 layer. Jambu Dweep is at the last corner of it. And then there are another 6 layers. So if I start talking about that, like, okay, so it's going to be a long talk again. So don't even know where we are standing. So when I'm coming from that zone, we will slowly try our best to cut down into and dissect it so that we all understand where we are and how we can reach out. Now that makes us very fearful, isn't it? What makes us fearful is, oh my God, all this day I used to think I know something at least. Now, when this realm is coming up, that something has also vanished. Now, what's going to happen to me is the next question. And what
I don't have those, Mahadev, because I know nothing. Only after coming to your sessions, I'm thinking, oh, okay, there is so much and we can learn. Because I know forever that I know nothing. So
that's the best
not my
way.
question.
That's the best way, Deepika.
No, but when you are saying something, when trying to understand with this mind, that's when I'm like, so many questions are popping up, being ignorant.
That is where I have actually asked that you should ask the questions about that. Because when you clarify those things, I will also get a point to discuss and even bring it so easily that no one doubts that any further. Right? Because it's not only your question. It was asked by all the people, those who attended. They are still thinking, oh my God, so what were we knowing till now? Now we have just reached to Devi, right? Now Devi ki Leela shuru hogi. So many things are going to come into that space.
Because like when you mentioned that these 16 dweepas are surrounding this Manasarovar lake, and when you touch each dweepa, you will rid of certain things, or you will experience certain things, or even when someone has not even done any kind of sadhana, even for such person or a such being, there are dweepas where you have access to all of it. So I was wondering, if we are not even of that realm, then how can we touch it? And also, I have one more question, Mahadev. Like
just before you jump onto that, so let me tell you. Although it has different layers to it, okay. So as we are talking about the Manasarovar lake, we call it as a portal. What is a portal? A portal is something that is connected from one to the other, right? That's what you call as a portal. So how about all the 16 are connected with each other? Then, so that's what it is. I'll try to cover that part as well, how they are connected and how you actually can transcend from one to the unknowable. So all this will be coming anyways.
Yeah, that's why I said, no, Mahadev, like, I'm not sure if I can ask this question now because the session has not been completed yet.
True that.
But there is one particular thing which I can ask now because it has been done. So like when you said Achinta was created, the first sun who is beyond thought, but he got a thought that he is ultimate and he can create much better creation than what Satpurush has already created. All this while, probably not all this while, like when I think I have a language to have a thought. But this is a realm where there are no 5 elements. There is nothing, I don't know, like mind is something I feel that it needs a medium to express.
Right.
So that place is like, it's purely energy field, and where is actually this thought residing? For the thought to come, what is the language?
And you see,
I was wondering.
That's what exactly I'm saying. Before even you think, there is a space from where your thoughts are arriving. But the moment the thought has arrived, you started thinking in the language. And that's why, and that too, a particular language that you know.
Hmm.
Before that step, where was it? Until a language is given, the mind does not understand. It's just like a coding. The system does not understand anything beyond the coding. But let's say you are sitting in front of the system and you are about to code it. The system does not know. The system is not reacting. But you, the one who is going to write the code, writes the code and the system reacts in that particular manner. For me, I don't know how to write coding, but for me, the laptop is there and I can just go and press on the certain keys and something will happen on the screen. Does the system even know what's going to happen to it?
No.
That means if a system tries to know me, will it be able to? I'm not talking about AI. AI has just evolutionized
No,
everything. So
okay.
that means that machine is not even conscious enough to even realize that somebody is sitting and doing that. Now just think of the system or the computer that is in front of you. We all know it has a motherboard. We all know that all the chips are connected together and they are communicating with each other as well.
Yeah.
If they don't communicate, the system will falter. It won't work. Makes sense? That's how the scientific way you can understand in a very computerized way. So what we look at it is, there is a motherboard which is having all the data and there is a RAM that is running the show and there is the entirety of colony of small things that is creating that world within it. And the input is coming from the observer of it or the one who is using it. What if this world is like that? You and me sitting here doing this satsang, we might be that small little chip who are sitting and connecting with each other and saying that, oh, do you understand what I'm saying? And they said, yeah, I understand. Then what? And then I have another very typical question. See, that's where I come from. I ask, just like an apple tree grows apples in it, what if the earth is a place where humans are grown? What if earth is a tree in which humans are the fruits? So every question can actually be dissected into multiple dimensions. So here, when coming to this understanding that before the thought, there is someone who is doing all these things. And you know what? As then somebody, I was talking the same language and they said, so what about tsunami and the floods that come? I said, one fine day, my son was playing by my side and there was a glass of water. And he unknowingly, he just spilled the water on the system. No, he spilled the water, but what happened inside the system? It flooded, right? And what if you say, oh, so then, but the air that was like, okay, so have you seen people cleaning up their desktops earlier with that vacuum cleaner? That might be a tsunami for inside that. Would it be? So what if we are just like sitting in a system and somebody is operating and he's just typing something and we are reacting in that way? इसी उसे अचिंत कहते हैं. Means just like the system cannot know, cannot see you. Although you are reflecting in that, without you it won't work. You are the creator of it, yet it will never know you. In that, you see, I can see my image. It is showing my image, but it will never see me. Up until when? Up until it is conscious. What are humans? We are humans because we are conscious. A rock might look much more saintly than us. A rock might be sitting without any headache, but we have. A rock is just lying there without any questions. उसका क्या होगा वो नहीं सोच रहा है. उसके आगे परिवार का क्या होगा वो नहीं सोच रहा है. He's not thinking anything. He does not have any of the problems that we have. So a rock is much better than us, but it will always be a rock up until evolution strikes. But we, as a human being, we have evolved from all those stages now to a condition where I can know myself completely, so that I understand the entirety of the game. And there is a saying, if you know the game, you don't panic. So if you understand the entire game of this world, then you will not panic with any situation in your life. Up until then, You are fearful, you are dreadful, you are worried, right? So now coming to your question, if achintya, the word itself says achintya, the one who cannot be thought of. If he got a thought, from where did he got the thought? Then you have to understand that all this has been an intrinsic quality of the same Purusha, the Adi, or the one who did not have a name as well, yet it had everything in it. Now my question comes to a very simple boiling point. I ask this. If God did not have all these things, emotions, from where did I got it? The second thing comes, if he already had that and I am also having that, then who am I? Can you see? You have seen God angry, you have seen God happy, you have seen God smiling, you have seen God so amazingly graceful, and you have also seen God who has been like fighting. He has fought wars. With whom was he fighting is the question. You see, even the Devatas were fighting with the Rakshasas. That itself indicates one thing. They were in duality. They were still not in the singularity form. Because in singularity, there is no second person to even fight with.
Yeah.
So coming to your question that you asked, it all boils down to start of the play. There was no drama, there was nothing. You were sitting at your home doing something. Kritarji was doing something, Alivaji was doing something, Chidilas was doing something. Suddenly Haribhai sent a message. Today we have the session at 8:30. So plans changed. So that's how I say that. Let me complete that session actually, because now the question is coming, like many people are asking. If you say that Devi was not there, Devi has arrived after so many of drama already happened. Now what about Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh? I said managers. This is so it's a big controversy, right? But I said, hold on. I said, listen to it completely, then only jump into a conclusion. Because it is quite enthusiastic to actually, how come this? But that's what I said in the beginning of this, that it will shake you up because nothing has been spoken in that space. But all the things that we spoke, you know one thing, although you know it or not, although you believe it or not, although it is just a story for someone, but I can say one thing, you cannot deny it. Somehow deep down within you, you have that core essence feeling that aisa to hai. It's not because I am saying. Many things I say, but there are certain things that actually hit you so hard within you and you say, yes, yes, aisa to ho sakta hai. What brings you to believe that if you don't know it already? That's what I keep on saying, because it's not that you don't know it. It's just like a well.
You have forgotten that.
It's just like a well. What I'm doing, I'm just pulling out things from that well only, and you see that out. That's what I'm saying. There's no difference between you and me. The only thing is you are seeking. Only thing is I'm able to answer that. Because this seeking of yours will take you beyond what people have never thought of. Second thing that comes into play is grace. Many people have again questioned me, how come we have come to this place where we are able to hear all this when nobody knows and you are sitting in front of us and speaking all that? Who are you? We don't know. But how are we even eligible to get this knowledge? What have I done? मैं तो साधना ठीक से नहीं करता, मेरा पूजा ठीक नहीं होता, मेरा माला छूट जाता है, मैं माला करते करते सो जाता हूँ.
This is so much me, Mahadev.
No, this is so much everyone. So much me. It is so much everyone actually. It is not you only. मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ ये सारे लोग खुद बोले. So my question comes to this place. I say like, You are doubting your own things because you don't know what grace is. You know what grace is? Grace is being ready, and when it comes with her own wish, with her own will. जैसे आप यहाँ बैठे हो, क्या मुझे बोल सकते हो अगला हवा का झोंका कब आएगा? Like when the air is going to flow again. Not your choice. It flows. How? Grace. All that you have to do is what? You have to be just like that turbine. You stand there. When the air comes, you will automatically rotate. That's what I call as grace. It's your readiness. क्या उनका grace है तो मैं सब छोड़ दूं? नहीं. You should be ready. So that when it comes, you get the grace immediately. It's just like the person you remember, like everybody left doing any work in the field because it's not going to rain, but there was only one person who continued to do so. And the day it rained, who got benefited? It's it. That's what I call as grace. God has given you सामर्थ्य दिया गया है आपके हाथों में. जितनी शक्ति जितना है आप करो. ऐसा हो सकता है कि कोई कुछ बिना किए भी उसको कुछ मिल जाए. उसके लिए you don't have to worry on that because that's the grace. वो अनुग्रह शक्ति है भगवान का, वो अनुग्रह शक्ति है देवी का. वो किसी के ऊपर भी अनुग्रह कर सकते हैं. They can bless anyone. Why are you worried? The only thing is you should be ready for that grace. याद है ना जैसे कृष्ण ने कहा था कि यदा यदा like do all your karmas, right? Whatever you do your karmas. कर्म करना तुम्हारे हाथ में, फल देना मेरे हाथ में. Then what the line we added to that? We added one line. ओके, कर्म करना मेरे हाथ में है, फल देना तेरे हाथ में है, लेकिन मैं फल प्राप्त करने के लिए अभी तैयार हूं. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन. ओके, वो तुम कब देने को तैयार हो ठीक है, लेकिन मैं तो अभी पाने को तैयार हूं. आई एम रेडी नाउ. That's what I say your readiness is all about. You become a solar panel. Let the sun come anytime it comes. But the moment it comes, you have the change. And that's what is all about this readiness. That's all about the mantra, tantra, jantra. जो भी आप कर रहे हो, जाप जो भी कर रहे हो आप, पूजा पाठ जो कर रहे हो, everything is just making you that yantra. The moment the grace falls, yours is done. And who knows? You are already part of that grace. Because there are so many humans, let alone other beings, and you are still able to hear it. क्या ये अनुग्रह नहीं है?
Absolutely, Mother. It is grace of.
So it is. I will never fight. अरे मुझे क्यों दिए? I will say thank you gave me. Because I believe like it is more intelligent than me. And if it is giving, I should not say अरे 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 इतना क्यों दे रहे हो? उसकी मर्जी दे रहा है. It's all yours. You are sitting here, no? That is good enough. You remember that the Adi Yogi when he appeared? You know the entire story. He opened his eyes. Many people were there. He closed his eyes. Then many people left. Then he again opened his eyes. Then few more left. Then finally, when he opened, only 7 were sitting. And he says, now the 7 are good enough. So what does that mean? Uska anugrah hai. If he would have closed his eyes one more time, I think that might have left also. Isn't it? But it was his grace, and he says, these are ready. And how do you know what kind of sadhana you have done to reach here? You don't have a record of anything. You are just looking at one phase of life and you saying, oh, my dear, I am so bad. No, you have never seen your other parts of your life in the previous lives or what all sadhanas you have done. And more than that, जब उसका अनुग्रह होता है, accept कर लेना चाहिए बस. So might be. I find to express all those in the presence of you people. Or else I would never bring those things out, because now the topics, especially what I'm thinking about talking, is going to drive crazy. What वो जो कहते हैं ना अचिंत्य, वैसे कुछ शब्दों का इस्तेमाल करने वाला हूं मैं, वैसे कुछ चीजों को लेके आने वाला हूं मैं. But let's see. Now you think like, okay, but you have started from somewhere that nobody knows, and now beyond there is something. I said, you will know. So be ready. And more than that, as you rightly said, I don't know anything. But the only thing I do, the only thing I know is it has chosen me, and the grace is flowing through me now. If it was not that case, there are million, billion, trillions of videos in the YouTube. And who is talking about all these things? So let the world do its drama. We will try to stick to the core of it. Whatever possible in the most simplest way to make you understand like what all has been hidden, what all is not available. Might be bringing that is the work that we will do together. But in order to do that, I have to say, you have to sit. You all have to be there. Because if now just think of there was no Arjuna to whom Krishna would have spoken. वो रथ से बात करता था या घोड़े से? So Krishna was not telling all that what he is or what he knows. He was telling because Arjuna didn't knew. So we are not speaking to showcase who we are. We are just speaking so that you know that you are also the same. And now suddenly I said we, because we are talking in duality. So let's see what all comes to your place. But I can only say one thing, that you have to stick, you have to stay back, so that you never have to come back to stay back again. Now, if you have this clarity of all these things in your mind, would you ever be stopped at any gate? That's my question. Right? So wait and let the things unfold, whatever is coming next.
Okay, Madhu.
Okay. So thank you, Deepika ji.
I have so many more, but I don't feel like asking any more, Madhu. Actually.
So just wait, let the session
Yeah.
come.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Deepika.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Anna.
Kritarth, please unmute yourself.
प्रणाम गुरुजी।
प्रणाम कृतार्थ जी।
गुरुजी कुछ क्वेश्चंस है। पहले तो अपने मेरा जो क्वेश्चन था वो मैं आपको पूछ लेता हूँ कि आई हैव आस्क्ड यू रिलेटेड टू वन स्पेसिफिक मंत्र, वहां पे और भी थे, बट फॉर दैट यू हैव मल्टीपल टाइम्स सेड नो बेस्ड ऑन द एलिजिबिलिटी. So for that one, the moment you said yes, will that be considered as a Guru Diksha, or Diksha is something, it's a process which is differently followed, और वो अलग ही होता है पूरा? और अगर yes है, in that case वो प्रोसेस क्या होती है करने की, वो सब कुछ?
Okay. So I believe in one thing, Kritarth ji, because I have seen a lot of drama going on in the name of giving Diksha, and a lot of like, how can I ask 1,000 people sit together and मैं एक मंत्र बोल दूं और वो दीक्षा हो जाए? मुझे समझ में नहीं आता वो, because they don't understand one process how it is done. एक संपूर्ण विधि होती है. अगर किसी को दीक्षा दी जाती है ना, तो उसका एक संपूर्ण 4 दिन का विधि है. There is a 4 days process just before even whispering that mantra into the ear of that person. वो करने के लिए समय नहीं है किसी के पास. आज 40 मिनट में मंत्र दीक्षा हो जाता है. But what and why I said yes to what you asked me, despite I am saying denying all the others that you have asked. The reason is very simple. 2 things I have to consider. One, is it really beneficial for you? क्योंकि आप जो मंत्र करना चाहते हो, it should be beneficial for you. नहीं तो मंत्र क्यों? You are very clear on that. Second thing, when that mantra has chosen you. That is
In
more.
Tantra Marg, deity is going to choose
Got it?
you.
So when I said you don't choose the mantra chooses you, then what kind of दीक्षा am I talking about? I know ऐसा मैं कोई निरादर नहीं करना चाहता कि गुरु की दीक्षा नहीं होनी चाहिए, बिल्कुल होनी चाहिए, पद्धति से होनी चाहिए. But here in this case, I don't want to bind you in the name of that. I want to say,
Okay.
you have asked me, you have believed in me, and my only thing is to show you the right path. That's it. Nothing else. हाँ, लेकिन मैं वो कर सकता था, अच्छा कृतार्थ जी आप आओ 4 दिन बैठो, हमारे पैर दबाओ और हमारी बहुत सेवा करो, उसके बाद इतनी दक्षिणा चढ़ाओ और ये सारे चीजें लेके आओ, फिर मैं कान में फूंक दूंगा वो मंत्र, फिर जाके तुम मंत्र कर. नहीं. Tikita ji, I have very clear indications. I have been speaking it for over years now. मैं यहाँ शिष्य बनाने नहीं आया हूँ, मैं यहाँ पे गुरु बनाने आया हूँ. I am not here to just create followers. I am here to create masters. Are you that material? Then sit, or else door is open. अगर आपको लगता है कि आप किसी के हाथ पकड़ के ही चलोगे, I can be that, but आपका वैसा की नहीं बनूंगा मैं. क्योंकि हाथ पकड़ के चलना, एक माँ बाप हाथ पकड़ के चलते हैं, उसके बाद जब बच्चा चलने लगता है तो हाथ छोड़ देते हैं, बिकॉज दे नो दैट द किड इज ग्रोन इनफ दैट इट विल वॉक. अपाहिज नहीं हो आप लोग, यू आर केपेबल इनफ, एंड इफ यू आर सिटिंग हियर, आपके कैपेबिलिटी के बिना आप बैठ नहीं सकते. एंड आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग विथ आउट ऑफ एनी ईगो, आई एम जस्ट सिंपली सेइंग दैट बिकॉज people are doing so much of drama out there, like oh my god, like रील्स में तो बड़ा मजा आता है आजकल मुझे, वो पॉडकास्ट रील्स और ये सब सुनते सुनते वो इतना ड्रामेटाइजेशन करके एक मंत्र को बोला गया. उनको पहले पूछना वो मंत्र है कहाँ. वो रुद्र यामल तंत्र का एक मंत्र लेके बोल रहे, इससे बड़ा शिव का मंत्र कोई नहीं है. रादर इट इज जस्ट ए डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ ए मंत्र, इट इज नॉट इवन ए मंत्र. जो संस्कृत में जिसे मंत्र कह के बोला जा रहा है वो उसका व्याख्या है. एंड दैट टू नॉट कंप्लीट, ओनली 2 लाइन्स ऑफ दैट मंत्र का व्याख्या को लेके बोले ये बड़ा मंत्र है, इससे बड़ा मंत्र नहीं. क्यों? क्योंकि उनको खुद समझ में नहीं आया कि वो मंत्र में लिखा क्या है. तो and then graphics, designs, everything going flowing, and सॉरी हमारे पास ऐसा नहीं हो पाएगा. चाहे आपको पसंद आए ना आए, हम ऐसे ही है. सही है तो है, नहीं है तो नहीं है. So in your case, I just said yes because when I just checked out, like, how is it? Because previous mantras, you were actually trying to pull from somewhere, so you heard somewhere and you were trying to pull it and do it. It was not the case. But in this case, the mantra appeared in front of you actually. So that's where when I saw that, I said, okay, so if that is the grace of the goddess.
Okay. Yeah, and for that specific deity, there are different mantras, but
Right.
the mantra which you give will be the one which I am supposed to do, और
Because
वो मतलब लाइफ टाइम वो कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं.
most beneficial for you.
ओके.
मैंने कहा था ना कृतार्थी, देवता और दानव दोनों में शक्तियां होती हैं.
हाँ.
दानव को आपको कुछ भी पूछो वो दे देगा, देवता आपको वही देगा जो आपके लिए सही है. सो अगर मैं सारे मंत्रों को हाँ बोल देता और सारे मंत्र करते, मेरे को क्या फर्क पड़ने वाला है बताइए.
नहीं.
आपको आगे चल के फर्क पड़ेगा. सो व्हेन यू हैव entrusted and you have shown your trust on me, if I misguide you, is it the right thing to do? No, in my opinion it is not. मैं वैसा नहीं हूँ. I am absolutely dead against it. If you don't like my ways, please find other place where they will pamper you.
No.
That is very simple. But yes, in your case, Kutaji, continue करिए. And once you find you start having the certain experiences, do keep me posted. Based on that,
Okay.
we'll plan like what the next is going to come for you.
Yeah, and उसके लिए specific number of malas means 3, 5 in the session which you told minimum 1, maximum 11 were told for all. not for this specific one.
That was a specific time of sadhana. So
Yeah.
now in your case, you at least take for 3.
Okay.
ठीक है, 3 काफी हो जाएंगे आपके लिए. Start with that.
Okay.
Even if you see like you are having to have experiences, very speedy experiences, then we will slow it down. Because वो
Okay.
धीरे धीरे करके, it's not like if you try to jump 4 steps together, you will fall, you will not climb.
Yes. Yes.
That is more important. So in this case, what you do is you start with 1 mala, do it for 21 days. Later on, slowly make it to 2 and then into 3. So 21 days का साधना शुरू कर दो, ताकि तब तक
Okay.
you will be able to handle that kind of energy what is coming, and at the same time you will see the results that is creating. Okay, so
Okay.
go in a very step-wise fashion, and so that you don't get into trouble, neither the mantra is done in the wrong way.
Okay. Okay. And a specific process like Swarnakarshan Bhairav, is there any, or in general manner we can do?
We will see. Because as of now, I don't want to bind you into all those kind of things, because
Okay.
I want to see what kind of results it is really showcasing for you. Based on that, we will go into the advance of it.
Okay. Okay.
Don't worry, I'll guide you anyways. Might be
Okay.
I take some time.
Yeah.
I will.
Okay. दूसरा सवाल, आपने वैदिक मंत्र, तांत्रिक मंत्रों के बारे में बताया था. शाबर मंत्र क्या होते हैं? And
साबर मंत्र, as you know that वो किसी पर्टिकुलर साधना के दौरान उन्होंने अपना खुद का मंत्र बनाया है. तो मेजर डिफरेंस यू विल सी इन साबर मंत्र इज, उसमें दुहाई दी जाती है. दुहाई देने का मतलब ये होता है कि भाई तू मेरा ये काम कर दे, नहीं तो तेरे को दुहाई. जैसे हनुमान को सबसे ज्यादा प्यार किससे है? राम. तो राम से अगर हनुमान से कुछ काम कराना है तो किसकी दुहाई लगा दोगे?
राम की दुहाई
तू कर ले. नहीं तो जैसे आप अपने दोस्त को कहते हो, ए भाई देख तू ये नहीं करेगा तो देख ठीक नहीं होगा, तू मेरा दोस्त नहीं है. राइट, यही दुहाई है ना. मीन्स नहीं करना चाहिए, बट एट टाइम्स ऐसा सिचुएशन आ जाता है कि वैसे चीजों को करना पड़ता है. और वी आर ऑल्सो इवन थैंकफुल टू दोज काइंड ऑफ बीइंग्स हु क्रिएटेड इट. जैसे मैंने कहा था कि जो गोरक्षनाथ है, अभी भी है, झिलमिल पर्वत अभी भी अवेलेबल है. आप अगर झिलमिल पर्वत के ऊपर जाओगे, एक गुफा है जहां पे उन्होंने साधना किया है, और वहां पे उन्होंने 65,000 ऐसे मंत्र क्रिएट किए हैं. 65,000 मंत्रस, साबर मंत्र. मीन्स he has discovered 65,000 problems in you and 65,000 solutions for you. कौन करता है इतना किसी और के लिए, बताओ भाई. So how much they must have thought, how much they must have done. नहीं तो उनको ये सारे चीजों की क्या जरूरत थी? What even they need it? Why were they sitting and doing the sadhana? और उन्होंने सिर्फ साधना नहीं की, उसको परिपूर्ण कर दिया. And now they say my energy walks with this mantra. क्या ग्रेस है बताओ. And
गोरखनाथ जी का ग्रेस.
did they expect anything from you? No. That makes them that. और कभी मैं वही कहता हूं, कभी अगर कुछ भी करना है ना तो वैसे करना. You don't do it for name, you don't do it for fame, you just do it because you know that somebody is suffering, you know that something needs to be modified, you know that even the people, those who might never hear of you, might benefit out of it. बहुत बहुत ही ऊंची सोच होनी चाहिए कृतार्थ जी उसके लिए. लोग अपने लिए सोच सोच के परेशान हो जा रहे हैं, isn't it? But we have a life, so we will take care of our lives also. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि सब विच्छिन्न करके चले जाओ, नहीं. To take care of this, but at the same time, at least this much, एक कण उतना तो कर ही सकते हैं ना. कुछ नहीं कर सकते, हाथ जोड़ के ये तो कह सकते हैं कि पूरे ब्रह्मांड में शांति हो. इतना कहने में क्या प्रॉब्लम है? हम ठीक है, आप रास्ते में जा रहे हो, कोई गरीब बैठा है, आप शायद आप पैसे नहीं दे पाए, हाथ जोड़ के ये तो कैसे प्रार्थना तो कर सकते हो कि भाई थोड़ा देख ले, इसका खाने पीने का बंदोबस्त करते. आज मुझे नहीं मिले तो चलेगा, लेकिन इसको खिला देना. व्हाट डू यू थिंक? उसके पास कमी है क्या? वो आपका खाना
नो।
बंद करके उसको खिलाएगा? वो आपको इतना खिलाएगा, उस दिन आप परेशान हो जाओगे, करके देख लेना। गरीबी उस दिन आती है जब हम सोचते हैं कि मुझे क्या, मेरा क्या होगा। तुम गरीब पहले ही हो गए सोच में ही, तेरा क्या होगा। क्योंकि तेरा क्या होगा जब तू ये बोल रहा है, इसका मतलब तूने हार मान ली है ऑलरेडी, कि तू उसके साथ जुड़ा हुआ नहीं है, तू उससे अलग है। मेरा क्या होगा? You cut down on the relationship on the gods. God has never cut it down. So, chalo, Kritaji, not related to anything to what you are speaking, but these are the words that we should all remember, we should all know. कि क्या संसार में सिर्फ और सिर्फ आए अपनी मुक्ति के लिए? वो तो हो ही जाएगा। कुछ तो मार्ग बनाओ दूसरों के लिए भी। अगेन, नॉट फॉर नेम फेम मनी, ये सारी चीजों के लिए नहीं। और लोग सोचो कैसी विडंबना है। लोग पूछते हैं वेयर डिड इग्नोरेंस केम फ्रॉम। आई आस्क द सेम क्वेश्चन। तुम दिन भर में अपने जो कार्य करते हो एक बार देखना। यू हैव टाइम टू ईट, you have time to sleep, you have time to take bath, you have time to study, you have time to earn money, you have time to gossip, but you don't have time to do job. और 2 से 3 जॉब क्या दे दिए, बोल रहे अरे अरे बहुत हो गया। स्कूल में पढ़ने गए थे, 12 सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाते थे, तब मना नहीं करे। पढ़ाई करके एक सर्टिफिकेट के लिए इतना कर सकते हो, गारंटी कुछ भी नहीं है कि पैसे मिलेंगे उसके बाद, लेकिन वो करोगे। लेकिन थोड़ा भगवान के नाम के बारे में सोचो, बोले तो कल कर लेंगे, एंड दैट टुमारो नेवर डाइज। मेरे दादाजी मुझे बचपन में क्वेश्चन हमेशा पूछा करते थे। माइट सम पीपल माइट फील रन अवे फ्रॉम द स्टॉक। लीजर्ड को देख के मुझे हमेशा बोलते थे, तू कभी देखा है लीजर्ड किसी को काटते हुए? मैं बोला नहीं। बोला कभी मत डरना, वो कभी नहीं काटेगा। मैं बोला क्यों? ना, वो हमेशा बोलता है कल, कल काटूंगा, और उसका कल कभी आता नहीं है। टुडे इज द टुमारो दैट यू वर वरीड अबाउट यस्टरडे एंड स्टिल एवरीथिंग इज फाइन, isn't it? Today is the tomorrow that you were worried about yesterday and still everything is fine. मरे जा रहे हैं सोच सोच के कल क्या होगा। कल जब होगा तब देखेंगे, कल होता ही नहीं है कभी, आज ही होता है। आज तो मस्त है तो आज हमेशा मस्त रहेगा। जिनको कल के बारे में पता है उनको पूछो, जो कल में जीते हैं उनको पूछो। हम तो आज में, कल में जाके बताओ। कैन यू go to tomorrow? Because the moment you are in tomorrow, it becomes today again. So there is no tomorrow. So that's the best creation. And yet we think, oh my God, tomorrow, कल क्या होगा? अगर कल होगा तो देख लेंगे, कल होगा ही नहीं। ओके, सो कृताज जी, स्टार्ट विथ वन माला फॉर 21 days फ्रॉम। एक काम करो, सैटरडे से शुरू फिर से करो, क्योंकि आपने मुझे प्रश्न आज पूछा है। सो सैटरडे से एक माला लेके स्टार्ट करो 21 days का। वैसे ही करते करते 3 स्टेप्स में जाके थर्ड तक पहुंचो। तब तक आपको तो रिजल्ट्स दिख जाने चाहिए। And once we start seeing the results, we will look into the fact like what all can be added or delineated from that. क्या जोड़ना पड़ेगा या तो क्या निकालना पड़ेगा। So be in touch. I will guide you anyways. And as I said, you have to be patient with me because थोड़ा समय का पाबंदी है।
हाँ,
ओके
ओके। एक और क्वेश्चन था कि इन स्पिरिचुअलिज्म देयर आर 2 पार्ट्स। एक तो मंत्र मार्ग है जिससे मंत्र की पूजा होती है, वो सब कुछ होता है जो हम सभी करते हैं। दूसरा जो मार्ग है वो ध्यान मार्ग है। ठीक है, दोनों से स्पिरिचुअलिज्म में आगे तो बढ़ा जा सकता है,
ओके,
बट हाउ टू आइडेंटिफाई हमारे लिए कौन सा सही है?
वेरी गुड। जब हम आपके गोत्र के बारे में बात करेंगे उससे पता चल जाएगा।
ओहो
The next topic that is there in that session, it is again going to that ना, the सप्तऋषियों के बारे में बात होगा. तो
हाँ
सप्तऋषियों के बारे में बात हो गया, तो सप्तऋषि क्या किए थे, किस लिए थे, वो अगर जान लिए तो मार्ग आपको पता चल जाएगा कि आपका मार्ग कौन सा है.
ओके। और गोत्र 7 ही है टोटल, सप्तर्षि है
नहीं
तो?
नहीं 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 नहीं, गोत्र आर मेनी, बट somehow or other they are related to the सप्तऋषिज only.
या
तो देखना ना, जब स्वस्तिक जन्म होगा तब पता चलेगा.
ओके
ओके.
ओके।
Yeah. Thank you,
थैंक यू
Kritat.
गुरुजी।
थैंक यू, थैंक यू.
Aliva ji, please unmute yourself.
हरी भाई जानबूझ के चिदविलास को लास्ट में रखे.
No, we can go with Chidvilas also.
नहीं 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 नहीं, चिदविलास को हम जानबूझ के लास्ट में रखें. वो
हर
पूरा
हर महादेव.
करेगा. हर हर महादेव.
Pranam Mahadev. I'm talking after a long time in a Q&A, so as it is in front of you, we are always speechless, nervous. I'm super nervous today.
बट अच्छा है ना,
That's
इतने दिन के
saying
मौन के बाद अगर
Chidvilas
आप प्रश्न
अलग
पूछने
है.
वाले हो, तो अच्छा ही होगा.
Just that, what you started last week, I think the initiation happened the day probably each one of us met you, Mahadev. Because it starts with your name itself, it starts with you itself, it starts with Satpurush, and it has to be you.
And the best part is that they have started opening the gates for Mansarovar as well. Hari Bhai was sending the itinerary to me yesterday. Say, भाई एक बार देखिए, खुल गया है. मैंने हाँ देखेंगे, रुको अभी देख ही लेंगे कैसे भी. कितना दिन बंद रखेगा बोलो.
Yeah. So, I think like Siddharth asked you immediately after the session, this has been reverberating within us, and same with me as well. Mahadev, I have a different way to look at it, and that's maybe because some of these thoughts keep coming back, and whatever you said, Mahadev, is it external? In the sense, if we really consider, you said you don't even go anywhere, we'll stick to Martilok and we'll stick to Mansarovar. You cut us off there to get us to this curriculum only, because beyond.
No, I just said for now.
For now, yes. So for now, even if I won't say confined, because this itself is vast, and super vast. The whole aspect of Achintya, right? Is it not that we are floating in a eternal space of darkness? You said that ignorance comes from that darkness, and then we get exhausted, that Achintya space. When we are exhausted, our Satpurush appears, and he gets us to the cosmic egg and the whole creation within which he places us. And then with the light and the Jyoti Niranjan that we appear, we come out. And it also leads to both the masculine and the feminine being with us, Namade.
Can you actually see, Aliva ji, like I was giving you the blueprint from where you came from, because if that path brought you from there to here, it is the same path it will take you there as well. So it is nothing less than the blueprint itself, like how you will move. Now the question appeared like, how much time will it take? आप जानते हो, एक चीज को कहा जाता है शक्तिपात. शक्तिपात का मतलब समझते हो? जैसे वृष्टिपात होता है. वृष्टिपात मतलब होता है क्या है? द रेन फॉल्स. सिमिलरली शक्तिपात का मतलब ये होता है, जब शक्ति गिरी, मीन्स फ्रॉम द इटर्नल अबोर्ड ऑफ हरसेल्फ टू ए फॉर्म, तब शक्तिपात शुरू हुआ. Now that Shaktipat, has it stopped somewhere? No, it has not. Because if it would have stopped, you would have stopped breathing. द शक्तिपात तो अभी भी आपके अंदर चल रहा है. The Shakti has already come into your form now, and it is still vibrating because it is the vibration of the eternal. So that's where I speak of. जैसे अनुग्रह है वैसे शक्तिपात है. And you are just might be in the right time, and you are here. And whatever comes next. You find your way. That's what I said, like, I'll not just show you one path. We will dive into that space which leads you to the ultimate. And that's why we keep on saying, Haribhai has already been saying it for years now. भाई जहां हम सोचते सब खत्म हो गया आप वहां से शुरू कर देते. That's exactly what it is all about. Because there are realms that you cannot think of. But did you realize one thing? You are thinking of Achintya now. Because that idea has been brought down. The idea has been transcended to your levels. It has been brought in such a similar fashion कि आप अभी ये कह पा रहे हो कि there is something that cannot be thought of. But the moment you say it cannot be thought of, you are still thinking about it. That means one day you will transcend that thought and be in a thoughtless space. In that space where even you will not be able to think anything else because you will go beyond that realm of thoughts. And yes, the grace continues. I don't know in the any recent past recorded histories, all these things have been spoken. So if this is being spoken, it's all because of you people, because of you are ready, you are receptive of all this. If you ask me, is there a greatness to be? None. It's all because you all are here, you all are ready. What should I do? Like speak to horses or the cart? So better to speak with you, the one who is receptive, the one who is conscious, the one who is ready. And you know who will get the maximum benefit? It's very simple. हवा बह रही है, उसमें पत्ते भी हिल रहे और उसमें जो टरबाइन है वो भी घूम रहा है. So turbine is creating energy because of its what it has become. What have you become in the path of spirituality? What have you become in the path of grace? What have you become in the path of Shiva? What have you become in the path of Shakti? What have you actually transformed yourself to be from not just being that normal human being that you took birth as, but as of now you have decided that my journey is not going to be a journey of a human anymore, because now you see your transformation happening within you. You were something, you are transcending now. Within just few years' time, this is what you have become. And if you continue your sadhana for some more time, can you even imagine what you will be? And that's what I say, Achintya. Whose grace? You call it with many names. Now the small of the mind will sit and argue about where did this, where did that. I said, how much do you even know? You don't even know where you came from. You don't even know anything beyond your parents. My question is, from where did your parents got you? फिर हमारे यहाँ पे बहुत अच्छा कहानी बोलते, तो नदी में बह के जाता था, तुमको उठा के लेके आ गए. So Yeah, Alibaji. So being in that, like if you are standing in front of the floodgates and the floodgates open, you just flow with that anymore. So might be you are standing at such a certain point, might be you are at the right place. और जैसे सुधा जी ने लिखा ना, even the river quivers, even the river shakes up, even the river is fearful before it merges into the ocean. But the moment it clashes with the ocean, it no more remains the river. It becomes the ocean, the mighty one, without quivering, without shakiness, without any fear. It has reached its destination. It has become the ocean. So वो जो fricklingness of the mind, the thought of जो अरे अब क्या होगा, that's what I'm speaking of. That's what that speaks that you are walking that path. How divine, how graceful it would be. मैं तो कहता हूं कि even अगर ये क्या कहते हैं उसको, there is a particular term that you use. अगर ये मनगढ़ंत कहानी भी है, या तो अगर ये मेरे मस्तिष्क का उपज भी है, फिर भी मैं मानता हूं ना ये मस्तिष्क मेरा है ना इसकी उपज. So it's all his way of unfolding. I only speak because I'm talking in a duality tone, or else I can easily say it's all your doing. It's all my doing. Yeah. So, Olivia, question.
The, the, the curiosity then is, Mahadev, that these 7 islands or the existence of the different suns beyond even Achintya, then somewhere resides here itself, right? Because there are moments where we go to the Sahaja island, there are moments where we go into the love island. How does that happen? And the other ultimate point is that if that mistake was done of going swayed away by the advertisements, right? So when does then the reversal happen? Because it's all in the making, it's all in the transit. And
Okay.
again, just not for us, right? Like you just said, and you always show us that path. Your compassion is beyond definition itself. Compassion itself, I think, will come and bow down to you. How does this mortal being at this stage itself, whatever little we could contribute to that ocean, how do we go there and never come back, right, Mahadev?
That's what the preparation is all about, right? That's what we all are doing here, sitting. That's what we are paving our path. That's what we are not waiting for somebody to do something for us. We are doing it right away as we speak. You said even the error was done. When do we stop? Even if we bought the advertisement, when shall we stop? Have you seen now, like you live in near high-tech city, right? So whenever you go, the big boards come up, sale, sale, sale. And you got allured with that, oh, new sari, new chappal, whatever. Don't worry, I also go. So I'm not that sage. I don't go to buy products. So don't worry, I go there. So the moment you say sale, 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 you run towards that. How long do you stay there?
A short time.
One, up until your credit card is swiped off or the limit is over. Thank God it is not over for many people nowadays. Too much is given. The second is you go and you realize that it is overpriced, or you already have all those collection with you. Isn't it? तो अगर गलती हुई थी तो कैसे निकलोगे वहां से? इवन इफ यू आर अल्लेड, अगर उसके अंदर चले भी गए, निकलोगे कैसे? दो ही चीजें हो सकती है, जब तक कर्म के खाता खोल के बैठे हो, खत्म करोगे निकलोगे, पैसे खत्म हो गए, कौन रखेगा अंदर, निकल जाओगे कैसे? दूसरा, जाके देख लोगे कि इसका कोई मोल नहीं है, कि जिस दिन उस अनमोल से मिला कि संसार का कुछ मोल ना रहा, लेकिन संसार को छोड़ता कैसे, क्योंकि संसार में भी वही बसा था. So that's how we speak of. The moment I met it, I came to realize that there is no worth of this world. But how can I leave the world? Because I saw it also residing in every speck of it. So अभी क्या हो रहा है जानते हो? अब संसार में जाके देखते तो हो, बोलते हैं I already have this, I already. Means you are coming to a space where you come to know that, oh, so this is also experience, this is also experience, I already have this. No more needed, no more needed. रसगुल्ले कितने खाओगे? 1, 2, 5, 10. उसके बाद बोले भाई पड़ोसी में बांट के आ जाओ. Isn't it? So that's how I say, you will come to a conclusion that the world has been devised in such a way that despite all the allurings, despite all the things that actually trap you down, you are still seeking only one thing, your true self. Because your true self is neither half, nor incomplete, neither unhappy, neither falsified statement. So you are always seeking for your fullness because you think that something is missing in it. Just like the river running towards the ocean. Why is the river running towards the ocean? वाटर बॉडीज बहुत सारे हैं, सारे समंदर की तरफ नहीं भागते, लेकिन समंदर की तरफ नदी क्यों भागती है? कहीं ऐसा नहीं लगता कि उसको लगता है कि वो अपूर्ण है और इसीलिए भाग के जाके संपूर्ण हो जाती है? लेकिन जिस दिन समंदर से मिल गई, उस दिन क्या? What on that day? When the drop drops itself into the ocean, it is no more the drop anymore. It becomes the ocean. So the process that you are going through, that itself is the awakening process. The question that you are asking, it itself is the question of awakening. It's just like this. You woke up and you are asking, what's the time now? And somebody said, time to wake up. Then तो मैंने कहा ना, वो बीच बीच में आकाशवाणी चलती थी. तो वैसे ही when I hear that, Aliva ji, I still remember, आपको मैंने बताया ना कि even in the sessions I used to speaking, that there is a river just behind my, now river नहीं है, sand ही sand दिखाई दे रहा है वहां. So I am also so, but it used to be river. And on holidays I used to go into the river by 5:30 I will be in the river. Till 8:39 I will be swimming, jumping around in that water only. Up until my grandfather comes and does some Akashvani from there. ऊपर आ रहा है कि पिटू तुझे. So the moment he says that, I have to rush through because I know now the second thing is coming. And once I still remember to tell him, why are you shouting on me when I am in the water? ये इतना देर कौन रहता है? तो मैंने एक बार पूछा था, सिखाया किसने था? Because he was the one who used to drag me into the water, and until I learned swimming, he used to push me into the water. तो तेरे को सीखना ही है. Right? But thank God, it is still has not forgotten us, and we are not deaf not to hear it. Both are grace. वो आकाशवाणी करता भी है, और अच्छा है कि हम अभी तक बहरे नहीं हुए, हमको सुनाई दे रहा है. अगर जो सुनाई दे रहा है. One more analogy that I still remember is when I used to go to one of the villages of my father's sister's village. In the early morning hour at 5 a.m. there would be a bus. If we get that, by 7:30 we'll be reaching our home. That bus used to honk. Just before start, 15 minutes ago, he will start honking. By listening to that, we will be saying, oh, bus ready hai, ab jaane ka samay hai. So I see the same thing. So when this honking is happening again and again, कान में आके ये नहीं बोला कि संसार संसार संसार, कान में आके बोला भगवान भगवान भगवान. पागल हो गए हो आप लोग, ये सारे चीजें बोलते हो. Have you gone crazy? Have you gone mad? Have you lost it? Why are you crazy about the divinity? Because that's the way to liberation. That's the way to liberation. जितना कुछ संसार के लिए कर लेते हैं ना, उसका एक भाग भी भगवान के लिए कर ले तो बहुत है. क्योंकि संसार आपसे लेने के लिए बैठा है, भगवान आपको देने के लिए बैठा है. Rather, I can say this. संसार आपसे लेने के लिए बैठा है, भगवान आपको लेने के लिए बैठा है.
Mahadev.
So that gracefulness, if we never forget these simple things, मैं कोई नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि आप पूरा का पूरा गीता का ज्ञान रख लो अपने पास. मैं छोटे से छोटे बात बोल रहा हूं मैं, कि अगर आपके अंदर एक भाव आ गया ना, भगवान, आप सब मानते हो कि सब भगवान भाव से मान जाता है. कोई मंत्र दीक्षा की जरूरत नहीं है, भाव से मान जाता है. लेकिन आपने किस तरीके का भाव जोड़ा है उसके साथ. अगर एक ऐसा भाव जोड़ दिया आपने उसके साथ कि भाई जानता तो कुछ नहीं मैं, लेकिन तेरे ज्ञान से परिपूर्ण हूं. आता तो कुछ नहीं मुझे, लेकिन तेरे ज्ञान से परिपूर्ण हूं. बता तो कुछ नहीं सकता, लेकिन तेरे ज्ञान से परिपूर्ण हूं. हूं तो संसार में, लेकिन तुझसे परिपूर्ण हूं. देन व्हाट. और मुझे लगता है इससे बेहतर प्रार्थना, इससे बेहतर भक्ति, इससे बेहतर चीज हो क्या सकती है आप में. बिकॉज इन योर नॉन डूइंग यू सी योर डूइंग. आपके असमर्थ में आप अपना सामर्थ्य देख लेते हो, और उस सामर्थ्य में किसका हाथ है वो भी देख लेते हो. सो जिन्हें नहीं लगता कि ये मार्ग से कुछ किया जा सकता है, तो सोचना एक बार. कभी जो लोहा है उसके पास उतना ज्ञान नहीं है कि सोना क्या है, और अगर आप लोहे के सामने बैठ के स्वर्ण की बातें भी करो, वो बोलेगा बेकार की बात कर रहा है, मैं तो उसे पीट पीट के लंबा कर देता हूँ, मेरी ताकत ज्यादा है. बट हियर वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग. यहाँ ताकत की बात नहीं होती है, यहाँ भक्ति की बात होती है, शक्ति की नहीं. लेकिन क्या भक्ति में शक्ति नहीं है?
बहुत.
बहुत है. और भक्ति में ही शक्ति है. Oh, thank you everyone for allowing those words to be spoken. May that grace continue. कब तक? जब तक घर नहीं पहुंच जाते। कब? इस बार। तो उसको बस बोलना कि भाई वही खाता था, मुझे पता नहीं है, तो जितना जल्दी खत्म कर ले उतना अच्छा। उसकी व्याख्या करने के लिए एक व्याख्या है, सप्त बड़ा न्यायम, 7 बड़े वाला न्याय। सुना ये कहानी, सप्त बड़ा न्याय? नहीं सुना? ओके। सप्त बड़ा न्यायम ये है, देखो आप लोग पूछते हो ना कि कितना मंत्र जाप करना चाहिए, कितना ध्यान करना चाहिए, कितने देर तक साधना करनी चाहिए। उसका उत्तर आपको एक सरलतम रूप से देना चाहता हूं। क्या आप मुझे बोल सकते हो कि कितना खाने से आपका पेट भर जाएगा? रोज खाते हो ना? कैन यू रियली टेल मी इन हाउ मच फूड योर फुल belly विल बी फुल? एनी वन ऑफ यू? हाँ, आप कह सकते हो मैं आज 1 या 2 रोटी खाऊंगा, लेकिन कैन यू एग्जैक्टली टेल विच roti will complete or satiate your hunger? So there was one person who goes to a hotel and he asks, okay, so what is the cost of the vada? And old days he says 25 paise per vada, let's say. Okay, so 25 paise per. What do you think it will cost me to satiate my hunger? He says, eat, you will know. And he starts eating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And after the 7th vada he ate, he says, wow, now I'm satiated. Then the bill comes. The fellow comes with 7 vada ka 25 paise, matlab 1 rupee 75 paise or 1 rupee 50 paise, 75 paise. Now he comes with a bill of 1 rupee 75 paise. He gives only 25 paise. Now the fight begins. He says, why are you only giving 25 paise? You should give 1 rupee 75 paise. But he said, I told you very clearly, which vada will satiate my hunger? How much will it cost? He said, 1 vada, 25 paise. So the 7th vada satiated my hunger, so I will give you only 25 paise. ये है सप्त बड़ा न्यायम। उसी तरीके से जैसे आपको ये नहीं पता कि आपका पेट कितने में भरेगा, उसे पता है, उसी तरीके से आपको कोई चिंता करने की जरूरत नहीं है कि कितना ध्यान करने से होगा। ध्यान करो, उसे पता है। समझ आया? हाँ, तो बाकी द्वंद्व में फंसने की जरूरत नहीं है। इफ यू नो, दैट्स व्हाट आई सेड, नो, इफ यू नो द गेम यू डोंट पैनिक। पैनिक कब करते हो? गेम पता नहीं है। अब तक गेम पता नहीं था, अब हम गेम के रहस्य खोलते चले जा रहे हैं। वी आर ओपनिंग इट अगेन एंड अगेन एंड अगेन, वन बाय वन बाय वन बाय वन। और जब ये सारे चीजें खुलते चले जा रहे हैं, तब देखो क्या मजा आएगा तुम। वही लाइफ, वही लोग, देखने का तरीका बदल जाएगा। वो जो so all those things will become a
Noise.
less than entertainment or nothing less than a noise. And thank God we have noise cancellations. So that's what we are developing together, right? So Alivaji, it's not to even worry where I came from. It's not to even worry where I am going. जैसे सुधा जी कहते हैं ना, मेरा नाव भी तू, खेवैया भी तू। लाइक you are the boat and you are the one who is rowing the boat as well. So मुझे किस बात की चिंता? So if you can sit in that boat is called the boat of faith. That boat is called the boat of belief. That boat is called the boat of divine. मुझे क्या पता, डुबाना है तो डुबाए। अगर तुझे मुझे डुबा के तुम्हें मुक्त करना है तो डुबा के मुक्त कर, अगर उड़ा के मुक्त करना है तो उड़ा के मुक्त कर, या तो खाली नदी पार करा के मुक्त कराना है कर। वेयर इज माई डूइंग हियर? जिस दिन ये भाव आ गया ना, उस दिन वो सोचने लगा जैसे एआई हमारे ऊपर भारी पड़ रहा है ना वैसे ही तो माइट बी। सच में अलीबा जी, आपको नहीं लगता होगा कि बहुत गुस्सा भी होता होगा मुझसे और बहुत हंसता भी होगा? आई एम लिविंग एवरी बिट ऑफ इट, यू नो। जैसे आपको देख के मुझे दिख रहा है ना, आप हंस रहे हो, फिर हाथ जोड़ ले रहे हो, फिर हंस रहे हो, फिर मुझे भी वैसे ही कुछ दिखता है, थोड़ा सा गुस्सा करके देखता, फिर हंसने लगता, फिर गुस्सा करके देखता। क्या कर रहा है तू ये सब? कुछ नहीं, भेजा किसने था? आई हैव टोल्ड द सेम स्टोरी टू माई ग्रैंडफादर। सिखाया किसने था? आई एम टेलिंग द सेम स्टोरी। अब देखिए, वो चाहे पानी हो या सत्संग, हम उतरे तो 3 घंटे से पहले बाहर नहीं आते। यहाँ अच्छा है, हरी भाई है बीच में, बोलेंगे भाई टाइम देख लो एक बार।
अरे नहीं मार, ठीक है।
अरे भाई, और किसी का नाम नहीं ले पाया इसलिए आपका लेंगे भाई। So that's where we come from, and truly it has been a phenomenal journey. Ab tak, see, you have seen all the ups and downs, and you have seen the creeps and the crests of it, but good that you are still continuing. वो main है, because running away is easy. But yeah, पता नहीं मैं कहाँ कहाँ चला गया। So, yeah, Livaji, so you have any questions?
Just a quick last thing, and must be very, very, very trivial one. Mahadev, the way we जैसे मंत्र जाप जब भी हम कर रहे हैं ना, especially the experiences we had in the last sadhana that we did, especially the day you started with the Savar mantra. There are 3 states in which I am dwindling, Mahadev, and are these just am I like flickering, or are they real? One, you always say that, you know, when you say things, when we are not acquainted with the mantra, then we speak it out loud.
Right.
That's where there is a validation that yes, and that's where we ask for a recording, so that, like Sudhaji also says, we should not say it in the wrong way, and so on. The
Right.
second one is when we, you know, it gets on, and especially for all of us who go through some days where we cannot say it loud, you know, that mansik jap happens. Even then, there is a beautiful vibration that takes place, but still we are only thinking of the mantra. But then there is another phase, and that's where most of the time we go there, Mahadev, where it doesn't even come out, you know, and we are also not wanting it to come out. Only tears come out. Only, not even the existence. Maybe what Deepika ji was asking, I can relate to that. Even when there is no language, there is a way of expression, because I just feel that it is you and me and nobody else, and you understand what I'm saying, whether it is right pronunciation, wrong, am I saying it, not saying it, it's all yours.
Absolutely. See, the babbling is allowed for a child. For a grown up, babbling is not allowed. You know what I mean? अगर एक छोटा सा बच्चा के डाडा मामा पापा बोलता है, तब भी लोग उसको अडोर करेंगे, वाओ व्हाट ब्यूटीफुली स्पीकिंग, डाडा मामा पापा। अब आप जाके डाडा मामा पापा बोलो, व्हाट विल दे से? इतना बड़ा हो गया, अभी तक बात करना नहीं सीखा तू? So that's what I say. If you have grown up, the babbling is not allowed. Up until then, if you have already seen yourself as the child in the night, in the eyes of the divine, whatever you do. Let me give you a secret then. The best way to do any mantra. Shall I? See, you have seen there are many parts of it, and it's not that I will do it some other time or no. No, we will experiment it right away, and you will see the impact right away also. That's what I'm speaking of. Any mantra that you think, जो आप जाप करते हो, any one mantra you take, and I will show you the efficacy of it right now. और हर कोई अलग अलग मंत्र सोचो, लेकिन efficacy अभी महसूस होगा. That's what I'm speaking of. So you keep on asking me, no, so is it really something different when you are there? So let me show whether it is different or not. So any mantra that you speak, now you know, you should be knowing that mantra completely. वो मंत्र सिर्फ ओम हो सकता है, नमः शिवाय हो सकता है, or the longest of the mantra that you have ever spoken. Whichever mantra you choose, you should be knowing that mantra, so that you can feel the efficacy of it right away. ऐसा मंत्र सबने चूज कर लिया? Everybody chosen a mantra for your own self? Very good. Now, if you have chosen the mantra, there is one way when you speak the mantra out. Vaikhari, then Madhyama. Then you just whisper it so that you only hear, nobody else hears. Then the third one is that goes on within you, right? So ye हुए 3 steps. Let's do the 4th one. Are you ready to do the 4th step of that mantra? And that's why I say you should be knowing that mantra very clearly. Now for some time, allow that mantra to roll within you. Might be 2-3 times only. Everyone, do your mantra. Whichever mantra you choose, allow that mantra to just rush through within you. Now, stop the mantra. Means neither you will speak it loud, neither you will whisper, neither even you will chant within yourself. Just stop the mantra from even going on within you. वो मंत्र को रोक दो. जब वो मंत्र भरपूर चल रहा है ना आपके अंदर, वो मंत्र को रोक दो. Don't allow that mantra to come. Stop it. वो आने की कोशिश करेगा, आप उसे रोक दो. फिर देखो, what do you feel within yourself? When you are trying to stop the mantra, if you feel the vibrations, feel what it creates within you. हिल जाओगे means आपका जड़ से धर तक everything will shake up. Just stop the mantra. और आप मुझे पूछ रहे थे ना, आपका मंत्र काम कर रहा है कि नहीं, रोक के बताओ. And that's where you will come to know that मंत्र तो काम कर रहा है. But the best and the most powerful way of doing is, मंत्र जब अपने आप चलने लगता है और आप उसे रोकने की कोशिश करते हैं, it won't stop. और आप कहते हो आपसे मंत्र नहीं होता है. अब बताओ, आप मंत्र कर रहे हो या मंत्र आपको कर रहा है? Is it you that is doing the mantra, or the mantra has already become a part of you that you trying to stop it, you are not able to stop it? Now tell me, are you rolling the mala on your fingers, or it is rolling you now? अब जितना रोकने की कोशिश करोगे ना, आपके अंदर उतना ही लाके रख देगा वो. That vibration, that frequency, it will not allow you to stop that. अब पता चल जाएगा आपका मंत्र काम कर रहा है कि नहीं. कैसा होता है ना, एक वेग है, मीन्स इट्स ए फोर्स। अभी तक जस्ट पानी बह रहा था, आपको पता नहीं है। अगर पानी को रोकने की कोशिश करो तो पानी अपना ताकत दिखाएगा, है ना। जब आप अपने मंत्र को रोकने की कोशिश करो ना, तो आपका मंत्र आपको दिखाएगा कि कितना तीव्र चल रहा है वो आपके अंदर, इवन विदाउट योर नॉलेज। जितना रोकोगे ना, उतनी मतलब ऐसा लगेगा किसी ने सांस रोक दिया है आपकी। क्यों जानते हो? क्योंकि आपका मंत्र अभी माला बन गया है सांसों का। क्या है वो ना गाना, वो आबाजी, सांसों की माला से सुमिरू में शिव का नाम। सो दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग। अगर आप मंत्र रोक रहे हो, आपको ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है कि यू आर चोकिंग? इफ यू आर स्टॉपिंग द मंत्र, यू फील चोक्ड। व्हाट डज दैट इंडिकेट? सो अलीवा जी, व्हाट्स द फीलिंग? That's why I say you don't choose the mantra chooses you. अब रोक पाओगे अपने आप को मंत्र करने से? You cannot stop yourself from doing the mantra because the mantra has become you now. So how much does it take? That's what I know. That's what I keep on saying. Na? You should know the right way to put the things into test. कभी भी डाउट होगा ना आपके मंत्र के ऊपर, रोक ला उसको, फिर पता चल जाएगा। बेचैन हो जाओगे आप, और अचानक से आप देखोगे ऊर्जा कहीं की कहीं जा रही है, और कई लोगों के लिए पूरा पूरा एक ही साथ ईड़ा पिंगला जागृत हो ही जाएगा। व्हाट्स योर एक्सपीरियंस अलीवा जी?
अब आप समझ जाइए बात। I can't express.
That's what I say.
I can't express.
Achintya. Did you even ever thought that if you try to stop your mantra, you cannot? Because that's beyond your thought process. आप सोच भी नहीं सकते कि आपका मंत्र चलता कैसे है। And now when you are testing that, आप बताओ, have you done sadhana or not? Have you done mantra japa or not? Because now that has become the life force.
को कोटि कोटि नमन महादेव for choosing us to be here to even hear these.
It can be both way around, right? Like you thank me or I thank you. So नहीं, मैं सबको वही बोलता हूँ कि मिठाई का दुकान है लेकिन मिठाई खाने वाले कोई नहीं है, क्या फायदा उस दुकान का?
When it is you, it cannot be that, Mahadev.
So there are sweet lovers that I call. So there are God lovers still left in this world. Those who will not be taken away for anything else less than it. जैसे आभा जी ने कहा था ना कि उससे कम कुछ नहीं। You know why you are sitting here? उससे कम आपको कुछ नहीं चाहिए, इसलिए यहां बैठे हो, नहीं तो बाहर बहुत कुछ मिल रहा है, बहुत कुछ मिल रहा है। देयर इज टू मच ऑफ थिंग्स गोइंग ऑन अराउंड, बट द थिंग इज समहाउ आपको पता चल गया है, यू हैव नोन इट, एंड इफ यू हैव नोन इट, व्हाट यू हैव टू डू? जैसे रात अंधकार है लेकिन आपको पता है कि सवेरा होगा, आपको कहीं भागने की जरूरत है वहां से? यू जस्ट सिट देयर एंड द सन विल राइज। दैट्स व्हाट आई से। मनुष्य जीवन अनेक जी लिए, मनुष्य की योनि में बहुत युगों तक रह गए। शायद वो रात थी अज्ञानता का। शायद अब जो हम कर रहे हैं, तो वो कहते हैं ना, सुबह का भोर दिखने लगा है। और अगर ये भोर दिखने लगा है, तो आगे क्या होगा? सवेरा होगा। वी हैव स्टार्टेड सीन द डॉन, द डे इज नॉट फार ऑफ। और शायद वी आर इन दैट फेज ऑफ लाइफ, a phase of life which is so beautiful because it is neither night nor day yet. It's neither day nor night. The space where the union has happened. What is that union? The moment where the night is merging into the day, the dusk, sorry, the dawn, and in the evening when the day is merging into the night. Haven't you seen that even the sky goes red? How beautifully it decorates everything, because that's the point of merger. Might be you are in that space of, इसीलिए ना हम लोग क्या करते हैं, संध्या में आरती होता है, मीन्स इन द इवनिंग टाइम यू डू द आरती। व्हाई? इट इज सो ब्यूटीफुल, इट इज सो अमेजिंग इन दैट स्पेस। सो व्हेन यू आर स्टैंडिंग इन दिस फेज ऑफ लाइफ where there is a merger happening of what? The human becoming the divine. What is yoga? Yoga is nothing but union of the Atman with the Paramatman. That's yoga, that's union. And what is happening to you right now in this moment, in this juncture of life? Is it not the same? And if it's that, you know you are on the crossover point, just a step and you are there. Just one step. And might be that step is, people call it death. I call it doorway. Okay? Wow.
धन्यवाद महादेव। हर हर महादेव।
Thank you, Oliva ji. Dinesh Shah ji, please unmute yourself.
देखा, मैंने कहा था ना। प्रणाम जनेश जी।
गुरु जी, ये जो अभी संडे का सत्संग हुआ, तो इतने सारे सत्संग के बाद आपने उसके अंदर वो क्या बोलते, कटोरी के अंदर गंगा उड़े दी, क्योंकि बीच में कई सारे सत्संग नहीं हो पाए थे।
वो कहते हैं ना कि सब्र का फल मीठा होता है, उसी तरीके से कुछ था शायद।
अभी हाँ, कुछ कुछ छोटे छोटे प्रश्न इसके अंदर उद्भव हुए हैं, तो आपके समक्ष रखना चाहता हूँ।
बिल्कुल।
अगर निर्गुण है तो उसको एडवर्टाइज करने की क्या जरूरत, और उसकी एडवर्टाइज लेके निर्गुण के अंदर गुण कैसे आया कि वो अंदर आ गया?
Right. So that means, Janesh ji, can you see in your question there is another entire session hidden?
Yes.
So let it unfold. That's what I say. That's where we will. मैं बोल रहा हूं ना, आपको लगता है ना, प्याज का देखते हो और आप बोलते हो एक प्याज है। नो, प्याज एक नहीं है, अनेक लेयर से बना हुआ है। हम तो सिर्फ लेयर बाय लेयर अभी खोल रहे हैं।
अच्छा,
And
दूसरी,
as rightly said Janesh ji,
हाँ,
हम बिल्कुल पहुंचेंगे। अभी अभी तो सिर्फ हम लीनियज
शुरुआत है।
अब गुणों तक नहीं गए हम। So we'll go there.
तो ये प्रोसेस के अंदर जो प्रतीत हुआ कि द मेन फील्ड विच इज हमारे शास्त्र में लिखा गया है कि परस्पर शिव, उसमें से कई शिव स्वरूप, एंड देन there is a Swarup of Shiva which is converted itself or which has acted as a Mahavishnu, created a world through Brahman or Brahma, which is generated out of his own Navi, having the enough riches which is Lakshmi with him, and he is simply lying around because he knows that this is a perpetuality and that's why it is safe.
तो अल्टीमेटली
तो
वही
आइकोनिकली हमारे ऋषि मुनि हमको ये सारी चीजें बता के ही भी गए थे. इट वॉज ओनली अ मैटर ऑफ लुकिंग एट इट इन अ वाइडर पर्सपेक्टिव. लेकिन ये आपके सिवा शक्य नहीं था.
यू और एक
वो नेत्र के अंदर सुरमा तो आपने लगाया, नेत्र सभी लेके आए.
if I break one thing into very typicality, अगर आप इससे थोड़ा if you try to understand it from a wide perspective, before the kid is there, taken birth, it is in the womb of the mother.
Absolutely.
Before the womb of the mother, it was somewhere, it was not known. So from the unknown, something appeared through a process. Okay. When that process happened, so there was creation that happened. और हमने क्या कहा? When life happens, light happens. तो जीवन के साथ रोशनी आती ही है. That means the first creation that happens. Let us not go into the first. We are talking about you. Let's say when you took the first form and shape, the first form and shape was created by Brahma. Then once the creation was done, it came into the second phase of life. What? It just lied down in the womb of the mother as if Vishnu is floating in the cosmic ocean. You were floating in the womb of the mother. Then you came out. And then you start devouring everything of this world. Then what Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh are I talking of?
Absolutely.
So can you see in every aspect they are shining. The only thing is we are not able to even achintya.
True. सही है.
Now, Janesh, because we have just reached to Brahma in the last session, right? जहाँ देवी आई उसके साथ वो मिलके जब ब्रह्मा की रचना हुई. अब देखना विष्णु और उसमें दूसरे शिव भी आएंगे. So we will थोड़ा एक वीक रुक, मतलब अब 2 दिन रुक जाओ बस. So many things are unfolding in that again. Right? I don't know, like it keeps on pouring. कहाँ बोलूं, कितना बोलूं, कहाँ रोकूं, that has become a big task for me.
आप गुरुजी बस कंटिन्यू रखो, बस नदी को बहने दो.
नदी को तो बहने दे सकता हूँ, लेकिन वो बाढ़ लेके आ रहा है.
आने दो. जब तक दादाजी बुलाते नहीं है ना, हम उसमें तैरते रहेंगे.
River flows, it is good for everyone. I have in history, you might have heard कि what was that? Egypt was near that river, right? River Nile. Nile River was the benefactor as well as the destroyer of that. So when it is coming as a river, I know it will nourish, but it is coming like a flood. So I have to keep a control and speak.
नहीं, वो भी
But
उसी
that's
की इच्छा
okay.
है.
That's okay. I will try my best, like whatever, to put it as is. और
वो
अभी
भी
नहीं,
उसकी.
तो जब आना होगा आ जाएगा. But don't worry, we are not going to stop.
जब तक दादाजी नहीं बुलाते, हम लोग रिवर से बाहर नहीं आने वाले.
फिर दादाजी को बुलाना पड़ेगा अभी।
आने दो।
और हमारे दादाजी हर वेडनेसडे और हर संडे आ जाते हैं, और इस बार
अरे
दादाजी को थोड़ा लेट हुआ तो थर्सडे को आए।
कोई बात नहीं।
सो जनेश जी, हाँ, बी ऑन द लुकआउट बिकॉज दिस संडे अगेन द नेक्स्ट हाफ ऑफ इट, कोशिश यही रहेगी कि कंप्लीट करूं, लेकिन अगर टॉपिक लंबा गया तो माइट बी आई हैव टू एक्सटेंड इट वन मोर, क्योंकि ट्रूली आप बोलने से पहले मैं ही रोकना नहीं चाहता एक्चुअली।
अच्छा सत्संग हो जाएंगे तो भी दिक्कत नहीं।
So we'll see that because I think
Very small. It's invaluable.
invaluable, absolutely जनेश जी, because इतने तथ्यों के साथ कोई बात नहीं करेगा, they cannot give you all these details, and then if we are only talking about one realm, how about the another three, and then उसमें मैंने एक बात कहा कि उन्होंने असंख्य ब्रह्मांड बनाए और असंख्य ब्रह्मांड में से सिर्फ और सिर्फ ये 16 के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, और वो 16 16 हर चार में है। So if you define everything 4 into 16, then there is no count. Then what will we speak of? आप सिर्फ 33 करोड़ देवी देवता के बारे में बात कर रहे हो, you lose the count. जैसे हरि अनंत, हरि कथा अनंत. So when there is no limit to its name, how can you limit its fame as well? No way possible. Yes, we will do one thing. इतना छुपा के रखा है उतना बाहर लेके आएंगे, as much as possible. We'll pull down. So this time we are not hiding, we are seeking. You know why? Because we were hiding and he sought us. आपने खेलते खेलते वही होता है ना, जब आप पकड़े जाते हो तो फिर आपको जाना पड़ता है, दूसरे छिपते। अब हमारा हाल वही है, अब तक छिपे थे, उसने पकड़ लिया, अब वो छिप रहा है, हम ढूंढ रहे हैं, देखते कहाँ छुपेगा, क्योंकि हम हर जगह छिप चुके हैं, इसलिए वो हमसे छिप नहीं सकता। 33 करोड़ देवी देवता हैं, लेकिन 84 लाख जन्म भी ले चुके हैं हम। इसका मतलब जहां जहां वो छुप सकता है वो सारे रास्ते पता है। लेट्स सी वेयर यू हाइड। ओके, सो जनेश जी, you might have to wait for just 2-3 more days.
और
उसके फिर
इसमें
इसके ऊपर के बहुत सारे प्रश्न आने वाले हैं अभी।
और इसमें गुरु जी जैसा आपने आपने दर्शाया वैसा जहाँ पे भी योनि शब्द आ गया मतलब वो नश्वर है, चाहे वो देव योनि हो,
कोई
नर
भी
योनि हो, कोई भी सारे नश्वर है।
has to, might be some dies in few hours, some dies in few years, it has to। इसी से आपको पता ये भी चल गया होगा कि ब्रह्मा, विष्णु और शिव जब भी कोई नश्वर शरीर में आया है, they will have to transcend the body somewhere.
Yes.
ओके, चलो। सो जनेश जी, अगली बार के लिए देखेंगे आपको कुछ और बहुत सारे प्रश्न लेके आएंगे आप। ठीक है,
Thank you, Dinesh ji.
प्रणाम गुरु जी।
Aditi, please unmute yourself.
चितविलास।
सॉरी चिपविला। हर हर
हाँ आदित्य जी बोलिए।
मैं तो एक सवाल ऐसे था कि जैसे आप बोलते हैं कि इन नेचर हमारा जो ब्रेन सोचता है उसके हिसाब से इतना तो समझ सके हैं कि इस जीवन का जो अंतिम लक्ष्य है वो टू नो योर ट्रू सेल्फ और शिवत्व में मिल जाना, मोक्ष की प्राप्ति। तो महादेव, जब माँ सती का जब देहांत हो गया, जिस वजह से, जिस वो खुद के रूप को पूरी तरीके से नहीं जान पाई थी, और जब माँ पार्वती ने जब जन्म लिया और उनकी जो साधनाएं हुई, तो महादेव, उनकी साधनाओं का एम एग्जैक्टली क्या था? खुद को जानना या फिर शिव से मिलना, शिव को पाना? दैट इज द क्वेश्चन।
Beautiful. It's just like, why does the mother cooked the food? उसको भूख लगी थी, उसको देखना था वो कैसे खाना बना रही है, या बच्चों का पेट भरने। Coming to one more understanding is Shiva is in such a realm that when she took birth as a human, she could not be with Shiva. So that transformation has to happen. Through the transformation, when she went through so much of deep sadhanas, deeper sadhanas, her body also transformed itself in order to reach to a space where she can sit by the side of Shiva. So one way you can see that intense sadhana was taken into consideration. Now, when we look at Parvati, and we know that despite she being the Adishakti or the previous Janma Shiva Sati, despite she getting married to Shiva, she has to do so much of penance. How about us? Here the answer would be very simple. The answer is, what if she did all that for you? You say, how can I tell that? I can say, very simple. Why did Shiva drink the poison? Can you tell that it's not for you? See, if it is not for you, you would not have been here if the halahal was spilled. That itself speaks loudly that he did for you, and he did that. That's why we are sitting here. What if Sati was developing all the sadhanas? What if Sati was preparing all that for her kids? It's just like the small little baby. It does not know anything, but the mom brings everything into place. I know I brought you into this world. Taking care of you is also my responsibility. So how about that way looking at it? It was a two-way. You have heard of something called as the B.Ed program, right? Just before becoming a teacher, they go through a study called as the B.Ed. What is B.Ed? It is nothing else but the student. He is also the student and the teacher at the same time. And they are going through the process to become the teacher, yet studying as a student. So she was learning the process. That's where Bhairava gave her the 112 sadhanas, right? Beyond that. Similarly, she was a student and at the same time designing the curriculum for you. And at the same time, I can say it was her penance that has actually helped us to reach Shiva so easily. Her sadhana has become rock solid like the stone staircase that takes us to the divine. And more than that, what inspired her doing that? What has inspired you to do all that you do? What if I ask, what are you doing? If you say I'm a human and just living life, then you are not able to see your sadhana. You being in this world with so many things happening around you, can this be called sadhana? I would call that. How about all this thing that is happening is your sadhana? And how about this? You presented me with life, and I present this life to you as the present from my side. My life is my present. So Aditi ji, one way it was to reach till Shiva. And at the same time, she was showing the path. How to reach Shiva. And at the same time, what if she did all that? So yesterday somebody sent me a message, Happy Christmas. I said, Happy Krishna Mas. कृष्ण का पूरा महीना हो सकता है ये. So that's how you can change it. That's how you look at it.
Yes, Mahadev. In our Maharashtra, this Margashirs month is especially considered as Krishna is staying at Vishnupad,
Yes.
a place.
So this entire month is of his.
Yes.
So Aditi ji, I see that grace of the goddess. Because she has asked these questions again and again. If you go to the Prashnottar part of Shiva and Parvati, when Parvati is asking all these questions like, how about the people of the Kali Yuga? How would they find a way? Shiva laughs and said, you already did that for them. The only thing is, if they just follow your path. They don't have to do all that you did if they just followed your path. For example, there were a lot of laborers, there were a lot of machines, there were a lot of engineers, there was a lot of money, there was a lot of materials that was used to build the road. To build that 1 kilometer road, it took few days, but for you to cross over, it takes few minutes because the road has been paved, work has been done. And that's what I say, the grace of the goddess. It has paved the path. It had created the route. It just walk through. कभी कभी ना ये सारे चीजें मानना भी मुश्किल हो जाता है. मैं बोला तुमको ये सारे चीजें मानना मुश्किल इसलिए हो जाता है क्योंकि तुम मुश्किल चीजों को मानते हो और हमारे लिए सरल इसलिए है क्योंकि हम सरल चीजों को मानते हैं. तो जो मुश्किल मुश्किल चीजों को मानता है उसके लिए हर चीज मुश्किल है. हम सरल भगवान को मानते हैं इसलिए हमारे लिए सब कुछ सरल है. If
Praise God.
you might be behind a tough God, that's why your path is tough. We have chosen a benevolent God. That's why our path is filled with benevolence, with grace, with love, with divinity, with वो कहते हैं ना खींचतान. It's filled with fun. That's what we have chosen. You have chosen a tough God. Go in the tough path. For example, some people have now gone to Spiti Valley. Now वहां जाके फोन करके बोले यहाँ -17 डिग्रीज है. मैं गया कौन था? हमारे यहाँ तो अभी भी 27 डिग्री है. So does not that clearly indicate that it's your choosing? He's not wrong, I'm not right, I'm not saying that. I simply said it's your choosing. You have chosen a tough terrain, that's why you're having a tough time. We chose the God mode. we can create anything. So Aditi,
God.
so I
Thank you,
always
Mahadev.
believe that, like, oh wow, how benevolent you did all that for me.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes.
thank you.
Same. Words are not enough, Mahadev.
That's what I say. What should never be enough. You should say, oh goddess, thank you.
Yeah.
इतनी तपस्या कर ली, तू मेरे पार्ट भी कर ली था ना. Thank you.
One very small question, Mahadev. कि
और इसके बाद
जैसे आप
हाँ, question. Yeah, please go ahead.
जैसे आप बोलते हो कि कहते हो कि किसी को कौन सा वो स्टोन किसी के राशि के लिए हिसाब से या फिर कैसे वो सूट होता है वैसे पहनना चाहिए,
Okay.
जैसे आप बोलते हो महादेव। तो ये हम लोगों ने जो स्वर्णाकर्षण में अभी पहना है जो सबके लिए दिया गया है, तो क्या ये महादेव आपने प्रोसेस किया इसलिए सबको सूट होता है? ये कैसे है महादेव? इसके
There are-
लिए हमको हमारा राशि या फिर
Very good.
बर्थ डेट देखने की जरूरत नहीं है?
Okay, so that's pretty simple answer. बहुत सरल उत्तर है.
हाँ.
There are many kind of liquids. Juices are there. Oil are there. Then variety of other liquids that we don't speak of. Intoxicants. Who all can use these three things? Juice, oil, intoxicant. Balloon उड़ रहा है कांडी तेरा. Like this.
Yeah.
So, juice is something that can be prescribed to everyone. Oil can be prescribed to machines. Intoxicants can be prescribed to those who want to be intoxicated. But water,
Everyone.
not to the machine. Hello. But water is something that is common. So that is neuter or neutral thing that you call as. So similarly, there are a variety of stones that are neutral in nature. They are not only to be prescribed to a particular year, a particular gotra or particular rashi or particular time. These are neutral ones. So that's why we select not to give any other, but the ones that can by everyone. And it's not anything to be done by my side because of I did that. No, but it is a common stone that can be used by everyone. These are prescribed for the easiness of everyone. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Because we really don't know about that. I really don't know about stones and all.
So you can do a course on that and learn a few things from that space as well.
Okay, thank you.
Chalo.
And sorry,
Thank you.
Chitvilas.
Thank you, Aditi ji.
विलास ने भी ठहर ठहर के रखा है, बोला कि सब चले जाए मैं तो पूछ के जाऊंगा.
Okay, Sidhulas, please unmute yourself.
देखा, टीचर कब तक फेल करेगा, मैं वही पूछ रहा हूँ. अगर डटे रहे ना तो आएगा ही आएगा कैसे भी. तो इतने युगों तक जन्म लेते लेते टिक गए ना, तो अब कहाँ जाएगा बताओ. So what's your
Namaskaram, Mahadev.
Namaskar? One small little question, right?
Yes, Mahadev. And then just before that, I just wanted to tell something. I don't know, I just feel like saying. So it's like since past a few months, I've been calling you Mahadev because I think till before that, I was calling you Guruji because somewhere I felt like you're my Guru. But like as I do my sadhanas and all, as I do things, I feel like you know, I'm opening my eyes a little bit. So now I see you as Mahadev. And then there will also come a day when I call you Shiva, which means that I have found. Like that will be the day.
And after that,
Gone. After that, कुछ है ही नहीं. It's gone.
Okay. You call me with million names, and I say all names are mine. And you call me nothing, yet I am left out. You light up a million lights, darkness still dances. And when the lights are gone, the darkness remains. So that appeared in the light, you think disappeared in the darkness because it has appeared in light. But the one who was always in darkness, not of ignorance, the darkness of that entire creativity. What about that? How many suns do shine in this cosmos? And all that you are not able to see, which the sun even cannot light up, is that. So the names that you can call me are like the suns to illuminate me in a fraction of a second of the entire cosmic creation. And when you don't call me anything, yet it remains. So what you call me is your choice. You found your expression in that. So I don't take any credit or feel bad with the names that you call me. आपने मुझ में कुछ देखा होगा, उस नाम से आपने मुझे पुकारा है. पर कुछ लोग अलग dilemma में है. Because they keep on saying like, you talk about Shiva, but you dress like the other fellow. Okay. Is your eyes your saying? कहीं ना कहीं, more and more, even you call that name also. Whether you like it or not, you are taking the name of the divine. So when you are calling, whether I listen it to or not, जिसका नाम है वो तो सुन ही लेता होगा. हम एक ही काम करते हैं, जिसकी चिट्ठी उसके पास. So you call me with any name. Matter. It's just a nameplate, right? I look it at a very typical way. Don't take it otherwise, Chidvilas, but I used to see, उषा जी को पता होगा पुराने मूवीज के बारे में, जो गाड़ी चोरी की करके आते थे ना, उसके नंबर प्लेट बार बार बदलते थे. Are you getting where I'm going? So मुझे भी कहीं कहीं लगता है कि इसे चोरी करके तो नहीं लाए, कि नाम बार बार बदल जा रहा है. But still good. कुछ तो वैल्यू होगा, चोरी हुआ है मतलब वैल्यूएबल चीज है. Okay, so Chidvilas, your question, please.
Yes, Mahadev.
Because after last session, everybody is spinning their heads. Actually, है कौन ये? तो हमने शुरू किया है.
Yes, Mahadev. The question goes like, when everything had to really merge back to its own self, then what was the point of making so many things which were not really being available easily, or making things more complicated, or like hiding certain things from certain people or certain things, or like why so many coverings when it ultimately had to really go to the same place? What's the point of making so many varieties of non-understandable things by the mind?
Beautiful.
But ultimately the thing which is understanding, which is our mind, is also the part of same thing. So what's the point of complicating things?
See, mine is not complicated. Yours might be. So you should be questioned. But did you realize the fun part here? The fun part is when you create a drawing, a painting that you draw, why don't you just draw one line and leave it? Are you getting my point? You just take a paper, just put a dot. Ho gaya painting. Do you do that? No. So you keep on drawing, sketching strokes of the pencil, darkness and white, play of colors. Why do you do that? Why so much of intricacies? So why so much of turns and twists? Why so much of complications? अगर फोटो ही समझना था, because you started with a dot and finally you end with a dot only. तो इतना सारा पेंटिंग का क्या जरूरत है? जस्ट एक डॉट और बोलना ये दिस इज द आईफेल टावर, दिस इज ताजमहल, दिस इज शिवा, दिस इज ब्रह्मा, दिस इज दैट, दिस इज फ्लावर, दिस इज एक डॉट. एक बार कोशिश करना, एक काम करना, सौम्या जी को आपके पास बिठाना, बोला मॉम देखो आज मैं ड्राइंग कर रहा हूँ. हाँ, डिड यू लाइक माई पेंटिंग? Which painting? No, I drew Qutub Minar. Where is Qutub Minar? Can't you see? I started with a dot. It will end with the dot only. So why to draw the entire thing? The dot itself should be enough. And tomorrow, do one thing. Take a paper, write A, leave it. What happened? I wrote the poem. No, why did you write only A? No, what I thought is if I start with the A, it is ending with A also. So I thought not to do anything else apart from that. So I wrote A. Now your turn to read the poem. And I'm not talking about food yet. Because if I start with food, I will end with flush. So I'm not going there. Are you getting? So जब सब ही जाना था, क्यों खाना था? अब बताओ भाई, क्यों इतना कॉम्प्लिकेशन करके रखे हो? Why? So from here on, whatever you draw, it should be a dot.
There was actually
Tell me, answer. No, you have to answer that. You were asking question to me. I am questioning you. You answer that, I will answer why the creation was created in that way. I have the answer, don't worry. First tell me, what's your, because I'm talking about your creation. I'm not talking about any other's creation. Tell me why you take that intricate, small details of it and you draw it. क्या मजा आता है बताओ? बेचारा पेंसिल क्या किया था, वो पेपर क्या किया था, उसके ऊपर पूरा गार, यू ड्रू एवरीथिंग ऑन दैट। बेचारा पेपर ने कुछ किया भी नहीं था, उसको पता भी नहीं है उसके ऊपर क्या हो रहा है। और बेचारा पेंसिल बोले मेरे को क्यों, वाई आर यू वेस्टिंग मी, वाई आर यू जस्ट ड्रैगिंग मी हियर देयर एवरीवेयर, आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड, आई एम स्पिनिंग, हिज हेड मस्ट बी स्पिनिंग। Why, Chibilas, why? In your creation, why did you do all that? बताओ।
To make it more beautiful to look.
अपनी कलाकारी दिखाने के लिए, in order to express yourself, in order to experience what all is hidden within you, in order to create something beautiful through your hands, in order to see that creativity is hidden within you, and in order to showcase that although it starts with a simple dot, it can still create a magnificent picture. Problem will happen to the paper and the pen. If you are that, but the painting, so Chidvilas, next time you come to the session, उषा जी तुमको पहले प्रश्न पूछेंगे कि चिदविलास बताओ तूने ऐसा पेंटिंग क्यों बनाया? Can you see? You are laughing. Reason? You cannot say, but you have understood it. Now, when you ask God, दुनिया बनाने वाले क्या तेरे मन में समाई, काहे को दुनिया बनाई, आप भले रोते रोते गाओ, वो हंस रहा है। यहां पे मुझे लगता है या तो पेंसिल या तो पेपर ये गाना लिखा होगा। मेक सेंस? You choose. अब के बाद, इसके बाद कोई नहीं पूछेगा भगवान ने दुनिया ऐसी क्यों बनाई। नहीं तो भगवान खुद आके पूछेगा तूने पहले ये क्यों बनाया बोल, उसके बाद मैं बताता हूँ। जब सब कुछ अंत में वो दीवार पे ही लटकना ही है तो प्लेन पेपर लटका देते। उसको फिर ड्रॉ करके, पेंट करके, फ्रेम में डाल के, फिर मेजरमेंट लेके, अरे थोड़ा टेढ़ा दिख रहा है, सीधा लगाओ इसको। बेचारा भगवान कुछ बोलता नहीं है, इसलिए सारे सवाल उसके ऊपर। अच्छा हुआ वो आपको नहीं पूछता। Can you see? The moment you become the creator, you laugh, but you don't say anything. That's exactly what the creator is doing. It knows, it laughs, but he'll not say. सीधा सीधा बोला, अरे पगले, देख कितनी सुंदर दुनिया बनाई है, उसके लिए ये सारे इंग्रेडिएंट्स देने पड़े। तेरे लिए ही बनाया है ताकि तू मजे ले सके, यू कैन एंजॉय दैट पाथ। फिर आप पूछोगे फिर ये परेशानियां क्यों दी? ताकि तुझे याद रहे कि वही ना रह जाए, तू वापस भी आना है। So that you don't stay back there, you have to come back. I have done all the arrangements. I have made the staircase to go and experience it, and the staircase to leave and come back. There are only two entry and exit points, right? Wow. The system has become my fan, I think. So, one death, one birth. The two, one entry, one exit. But in between, we keep all the drama. मतलब एक रूम के दो दरवाजे हैं, एक अंदर जाने का, एक बाहर आने का. Some people go into a mirror maze, some people go into a scary house, and some people go on a beautiful ride. So whatever they have chosen, they see all that and come back. What have you chosen this time? Might be you have gone to the scary house, the horror room, the mirror maze, the drama session, and now finally you say, okay, the divine track, the final door. Question. उससे भी पूछते हैं. फिर वो बोलेगा, तू एक सवाल का ऐसा उत्तर सीधा दे सकता था ना, तू इतना क्यों घुमाया? Can you see? That is what we call as Leela. That's what we call as expressing itself in the multifaceted form, in multitudes of ways, that it just becomes everything and experiences everything, that all it can create. And how about he created this world? He created you, then gifted the world to you. How would you keep this world? Whatever, complicated, easy, whatever it is, but it gave it to you. Then what? I think good enough. आज रात भर चिदविला सपने में भी ड्राइंग करेगा. What all he will draw is one dot. I have drawn the Mahavishnu. Another dot. Shiva, Shiva. Then finally we'll dot one more dot below that. It's me sitting there. और अब की बार जब क्वेश्चन पेपर में लिखने के लिए आएगा ना, एग्जाम का, सिर्फ एक डॉट लगा के आ जाना. बोला क्या ना, सब इसी से शुरू हुआ है, सब एक बिंदु पे खत्म होगा, तो पूरा आंसर क्वेश्चन लिखने का क्या जरूरत है? तुम शून्य से आए थे, शून्य को जाओगे. तो मास्टर भी बोलेगा एक डॉट. बोला क्या है ना, जो बनाना है इसका बना ले, मेक व्हाटएवर यू वांट टू मेक आउट ऑफ इट. इसीलिए शायद वो कहते हैं डॉट 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 कंटिन्यूड. It's his expression. It's manifestation into different ways, in different forms. As you cannot feel softness without the toughness, as you cannot experience darkness without light, the entirety of the creation of duality was created in such a way that both stand together, not as against each other, but as the supporter of each other. What looks like a fight, for me, looks like a support. Because in its presence, the other appears. And in the disappearance of the other, this one appears. The game of duality. So all the goodness now filled with, if you think of this world, everything was just filled with happiness. It's just like filling you or feeding you always with sweets. Morning, afternoon, evening, night, mid of the night. Again, when you are sleeping, waking you up and feeding you with more sweets. Only sweet, 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 and sweet. So in such case, if I continue to feed you with only sweet throughout the day and night, you would be waiting, "Arey, thoda khara khila do. Give me something salty." Now, when you say that, why so much of problem in this world, I see the grace of the divine. So it should not be filled with all that. It should be filled with all that so that I experience every aspect of myself. So it created it in such a design that all that you desire, you experience. Okay. So creation is not complicated. Creation is the way it is. If I think it to be complicated or I make it to be complicated, that's how I do that. और वैसे भी मुझे कौन से पहाड़ पर्वतों पे चढ़ना है? He has created the flatlands also. Okay. So Tidvilas, it's already quite some time now. So most probably I will stop it with this one question of yours, but most welcome for the next time. तुम सबसे पहले हाथ उठा देना, ठीक है? Nothing as such. The good thing is many people keep on sending me messages that thank God there are some people those are asking questions, and in their questions we are finding answers. It's okay. So thank you everyone. Might be we took a long time, but we covered a hell lot of things in that. So thank you, and be ready for the part coming Sunday. So till we meet, always remember that if that dot started, it ends with the dot. If you started somewhere, finally you will also reach there. And may this time be that. With this blessing, let's remember, if I am that, you are that too. Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi. Har Har Mahadev. Thank you so much.